In today's video, we're going to adjust the valve clearances on this Willys L134 engine. I have the intake off just for video purposes. You can do this exact same method with the manifolds in place. It's a very simple procedure. You're going to need an 1 3/8" ratchet for the crankshaft. You'll also need 2 1/2" open-end wrenches and a set of feeler gauges. For this engine, we're going to use 14 thousandths for both intake and exhaust. For this engine, we're going to use what's called the Magic 9 method. This is my favorite method for adjusting valves because you do not need to know top dead center. You don't need to differentiate between intake or exhaust valves. We just do them all the same using the Magic 9 method. Let's get right into it. So I'm using the 1 3/8" ratchet to move the engine. So as you notice, I'm turning the engine over by hand, and you'll see the lifters going up and down. So in a second here, I'm going to show you how to pick where to start. If you notice right here, this lifter has started to go up. So we're going to turn the engine over very slowly now, and when it stops moving up, so that means I'm turning the engine, but this lifter stops moving, which has just happened. So that one stopped moving. Okay, so right here's where we're at. We're going to start to do a little math with the Magic 9 method. So starting at the front, I'm going to count to this lifter. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to call this position 4. Now to find out which valve we're going to adjust, we're going to take that number 4 and subtract it from 9 from this end. So we have number 4, and we're going to go 9, 8, 7, 6. So I came over 4 positions. Now if I'm in the right spot, this should tick up and down, which it does, so that's the valve that we're going to adjust. So let's do that again. So this one stopped moving, then we're going to count from this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then subtract from 9 this way. So that's how we know what to subtract. So we're going to come 4 down from 9 on this end. 9, 8, 7, 6. We'll adjust that valve. So we know we're working on that lifter. So I'm going to take a 14 thousandths feeler gauge, and that slides right in there too easily. So it's a little bit loose. Put 1 1/2" wrench on the bottom, other one on the top. Now to decrease the space, I'm going to hold the lower nut still and unthread or open up that top nut. Just do a tiny bit at a time. You want to feel a little bit of resistance. You shouldn't have to force it, but it also shouldn't just slide in there sloppily. So getting close, I'm going to go just a little bit more. Be patient. I'm doing maybe a 1/16 of a rotation on that nut, and right there feels perfect. Slides in, 2 fingers, no problem. There are no lock nuts on these adjusters. It's just a friction fit, so it makes it nice and quick to adjust. You don't need to lock down any nut or anything. You just put your wrenches on them. You'll feel it's a nice tight fit. The beauty of the Magic 9 method is you do that exact same procedure for intake and exhaust all the way down the line. But let's do one more just for you for an example. Repetition is the key to retention. So we're doing it again. If you think you've got this down, you can probably stop watching, but I hope you watch the whole thing. All right, I'm watching this one now. It's coming up, and it stopped. I actually went over a little bit. All right, now let's do our Magic 9 method. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we know that's position 5 is all the way up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. This one should be at the bottom. Perfect. That's all you do. It's that easy. Okay, so that one is very loose. We're going to take it up a little bit. A little more. These adjusters can wear out and can fail. If you get one and you put a wrench on it and it spins with zero friction, I would change that. Because what will happen is your valve clearances will change just from the vibrations of the engine and temperature change to where you can't keep them adjusted. They'll just kind of wiggle out of adjustment, and you'll either get a loud tick or lose compression in the cylinder over a very short period of time. So whenever you're doing these, this one feels a little bit looser than the rest of them, so I'll keep an eye on it between now and the next maintenance period. Okay, that one's good. Feels great. Moving on. That is it. I went back through, since everything's open, it doesn't hurt to turn the engine over, another full revolution, and just check yourself. I would recommend having a piece of paper with all 8 valves drawn on it and just cross them off as you do them, so you don't go back through and keep checking the same valve over and over. So put a little piece of paper, or you can even put a little chalk mark on the ones that are done. But that is how you adjust the valves on an L134 engine using the Magic 9 method. So you might be asking, why do we even do this? There's a couple of reasons. But the first one I want to talk about is right here. So this valve is in the up position. So I'm going to turn the engine over as if it were running. So now it's coming down, and right there, it's in the down position. So both these valves are closed. That's going to, this is a 4-cycle engine, but let's assume the piston's coming up, and this is the compression stroke. The spark plug ignites the fuel mixture, compression, or ignition occurs, and there's lots of pressure in this cylinder. If this lifter down here is tight, and it's actually pushing up on that valve just the tiniest bit, it's not going to seal correctly. So then your combustion cycle isn't going to be as strong. If you put a compression test on this cylinder, some of the air pressure or the combustion pressure is going to leak out through the valve. So when these get tight, it lifts the valve, it prevents the valve from closing properly, and it really causes a lot of issues. So that's why we want to make sure that proper clearance is in there. On the flip side, if these valves are both down and there's a huge amount of slop in here, that valve stem and the lifter are going to have a lot of inertia, and that's when you're going to start to hear that tick, 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 and it's really hard on everything. And it's actually, that makes it so your valve doesn't come up all the way either. If it's significant enough, your valve isn't going to open all the way, and you're going to have a loud tick. So those are the main reasons why we're doing this. And that's with regards to just regular maintenance of an engine that doesn't have other specific problems. So that's how and why you adjust the valves on an L134 engine. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.